Hello, you two. I was doing some maintenance on my file server. I wanted to put Debian stable on it because I just don't see the point in having Debian testing on a file server that just sits there. So I brought it up here. I turned it on to get the files and stuff off of it. And look what happens. Let me turn the power supply on. There's something wrong with the power supply. I believe the fan has decided to quit on me. Listen to this. Turn it on and it'll turn itself on. Oh yeah, listen to that. Yeah. Ain't that wonderful? All I was expecting to do was hardware, or not hardware, software stuff today, but looks like I gotta do hardware stuff. Thanks, Cooler Master. Thanks a lot for putting shitty fans in your power supplies. It was one of these. It was a Cooler Master Elite Power. I forget what model it is. It was an Elite Power 400 watt model was this. I forget. I still have the receipt. Nice. I might bring it back, see if I can't get my money's worth out of it. Well, be quiet, bird shit. Anyway, looks like I'm gonna have to rip this power supply out and put in a different one. Fun, real fun. My guess is the power supply that used to be in here was this one that was in this Dell, so it looks like this Dell is going to become another just lying around computer, because I need a power supply with a good fan, and that Cooler Master is probably still under warranty. It's not even a year old, and the fan's already bad. I'll take it out. Once I get the power supply, I'll remind you which one it is. Well, I got the server open, and I can show you. Yeah, that's the power supply that has the bad fans. An RS400 PSA-RJ3. Great quality power supply. Terrible, terrible quality fan. It hasn't even been 6 months, and the fan is dead. That is fucking pathetic. Cooler Master, get it together. Buy some parts that aren't made of fucking paper. Cheap Chinese shit. That's what we get these days. It's exactly what we get. There's living proof that things are not made like they used to be. Looks like I have to put something else in this machine. Here's the power supply that will be going back into the server, and that is this Dell one. Which is a 200 watt power supply, which is plenty for what I need it for. Built by Hi-Pro, so it is not a piece of shit. Unlike that other one down there. Just because of the fan. That's where they cheaped out on it. So I'll put the Hi-Pro in here since this is much better quality. Now it has no SATA connectors on it, so I'm going to have to use adapters. But that's okay. This is what was in there before. This is what's going to go back in there. There we go. Now the power supply is installed. I have the SATA adapters I need, the splitters I need, and the other SATA adapter I need. So now I have 4 SATAs. And of course, the splitter. So I gotta put all these back together and hook all this shit back up. In the words of Davey 4557, what an ass pain. Okay. Power supply is working well. I got Debian stable installing on this server. Now the reason I was reinstalling Debian on here is because I had the solid state drive here formatted as ext3, which is not quite as fast as ext4 is on a flash drive. Now, people tell you to turn off the journaling so that you don't have those little writes on the SSD. Turn everything that makes a journaled file system valuable off. You might as well just use ext2. The problem with that is, if there's one little problem, your file system is screwed. There's just no protection. No safety net at all. So I would recommend using ext4 on a flash drive. Don't use ButterFS because ButterFS is a snapshot file system, and that uses and that actually does do quite a bit of little writes to the SSD. and little writes like database, like for example in the database, will kill an SSD pretty fast. But little writes from journaling, I don't think are going to kill it anytime soon. Flash memory lasts about 10 years. That's when you should get a new SSD. As far as hard drives, you can do whatever you want, really. It doesn't matter what you put on them. You can do whatever you want with them. I make my hard drives I make my storage drives down here ext3 just for my own security. It just makes me feel better. Helps me sleep at night. Well, it's doing the net install of Debian Stable. And there you have it. That's really about it. I'm just going to set this thing back up, put all the drives back into the fstab file, and it'll become set up the SSH accounts, and it'll be my file server again. And there you have it. And that power supply failing was just I didn't even expect that. I literally brought this thing up here just to reinstall Debian, and I find that it's an unpleasant surprise if there ever was one. I'm glad I found it when I did, though, before the fan actually stopped working entirely. That would have been a bad sign right there, or a bad thing right there. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed this little surprise fail I had, and just some server maintenance. I have more server maintenance to do. I have a bunch of computers in here and whatever. I'm sure you'll see some setup videos in the future concerning those. But that's it for now. Have a good one, everybody. Ciao. I wanna blow it up.